Hey, everybody, it's Hudson, Todd, and John coming to you live. Not live, but from original Father-Son.
When we recorded this, yeah.
Yeah, from the original Father-Son Voiceover podcast studios.
Global headquarters.
Yep. So today, right now, as we speak, let's do our numbers.
Going to start with VOMP
Let's start
again,
with
the
VOMP as we
Vompers?
always do.
Yeah, so we had 42 warm responses this week, 8 auditions, and 2 jobs reported. Brian Da Silva got one, and Todd Haskell got a recurring
Nice.
client
So
job.
as far as you know, Brian's was a new client.
Yes, as far as I know, yep.
You guys mentioned that you posted this
Yes.
week that I got a job,
Yep.
but I got it last week. You guys didn't post it because I was supposed to have a session this week, so you didn't
Correct.
post it till this week. Anyway, not so that people, if they saw
So
that.
kind of 3 jobs because Hudson's a part of VOMP.
Kind of, yeah.
So, yeah, and then we have a job that's coming in Monday. Officially, the job will be, and we can report who won that job. And we'll do that next week. But yeah, we spoke to a company, contacted us through our emails that Andy, your assistant, sends out on behalf of VO Marketing Pro, and they wanted to meet with us. They have some upcoming voiceovers that they'd like to use the roster for, and so we talked with them yesterday for probably about 20 minutes,
Yeah,
20 minutes to
probably,
half an hour.
yeah. They're from Arkansas.
From Arkansas. And yeah, so it looks like they're going to go with one of the, it's a guy from our group. And then, they talked about, after, kind of getting an idea of what they wanted for a voiced out for this one that they're going to do on Monday. We were going to send them a few examples of people for them to choose from our roster. And then, after we kind of solidified what they were looking for, then we talked about some future jobs and maybe what they're going to be doing. And so we're hoping to get a relationship that keeps going with that. So that's kind of exciting news.
I remember early on when I was watching Bill DeWeese's YouTube videos, and he talked about how if you can make a connection with clients and you're customer-centric and there's an ease of use, a lot of times because you're in their billing system and because they know you're going to return projects quickly, you're going to communicate with them, that they'll use you. Maybe sometimes even though they might be thinking, well, maybe there's a better voice out there, but there's Bill or there's Todd or there's whoever's watching. And it's the same with our voiceover, what we're trying to develop with our voice roster, and of course with all of the people that we send out direct emails for. But Andy, my assistant, specifically sent out over 400 emails this week on behalf of the voice roster. And that's what we're hoping to do, is to develop relationships with video production companies and ad agencies and voice rosters that will say, hey, ease of use, going to the VOMP website, and we've got quality people. They do a great job. We're really proud of all of our people on the roster, and they're vetted. And so they're very different. We're very different than a lot of voice rosters out there. And so we're looking for video production companies to look at us as, hey, this is our voice roster. We go there basically for all of our voice over needs. So that's, again, if you get 10 or 15 of those, all of a sudden you've got jobs that are coming in regularly just for Vompers. And that's what we're shooting for.
Yeah. And then when we get warm responses from those emails that Andy sends out, then Drew follows up with a phone call.
Yes.
Trying to build up to personalize it and to get out there while it's, extra
fresh,
warm, if you will, and talk to those people and try to explain what we do in more detail on, and let them ask questions right then and there. And yeah.
There's a lot going on, and we're into October, so we're just 26 months old as a company, very, very young company. But we're as a company trying to get traction, just like you guys who watch this. If you're part of VOMP, you're trying to get traction individually, yourself, through your marketing, through your website, through online platforms. We're trying to do that for you, but even as a company, we're trying to. And I think we are, but we're still that proverbial pushing that boulder up the hill. You're doing it in your voiceover career. We're having to do it with our VO Marketing Pro.
Yep.
It just takes time. We're having to take our own advice.
Yep.
And say this just takes time.
Yep.
Because it's easy to get frustrated even for us, even though I know it works, even though you grew up in a family where you've seen it work and you can continue to see it work.
Yep.
It's still just, you have to remind yourself of that every day when you send out emails, and you guys have to on behalf of the people, and you just got to trust that the process is going to pay off in the end.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, on to HBVOT's numbers. So this week I had 5 warm responses. I had 1 audition opportunity. I don't think I've heard back from that yet, but we'll see if anything comes of that. And then this week, the job that I got last week from the VOMP roster, I got that through you guys.
Yep.
They wanted to do a session, and then they said, well, the client's in the UK, so it's their day is done, so we'll try to set something up for Monday. Well, they didn't really have things ready for Monday, so they asked me just to do the script, which I didn't mind that, doing it by myself instead of a session. So that was $500, and then they came back 3 different times with revisions that the client wanted. So they liked my voice, which was nice to hear, but they wanted revisions. So then they said, how much do you charge for 3 rounds of revisions? Well, you told me that I probably could have gotten more, but I decided to go with $100 just because I figured, well,
I think that was a great
hopefully
plan.
they, will see that and say, hey, that was, nice of him to not,
Gouge them.
gouge them. Yeah. So anyway, that was $100 that I got this week. Last week, because I got the job, I put that $500 towards my last week's numbers, if you remember that. So then I put the revisions, $100 for this week. So that was kind of nice. Then I got 0 jobs on Fiverr, which was fine with me. And then Upwork, I had 3 jobs, and one of them was a recurring client, I should say. 2 of them were new. The other one was recurring. So that was nice. That's my first time I've gotten a recurring client on Upwork. So that's nice, and I'm gaining some traction there. For a grand total, plus I did a lot of editing for you this week, $576. So just a funny thing. So Upwork has like this availability badge. It says you're available. I've had it on for like 3 weeks. Well, for like 2 weeks, I didn't get any profile views. It usually helps. I turned it off, and the first day I had it off, I got 7 views. So it's like, why? And then
Activity maybe, huh?
yeah, and then Fiverr, I've been doing a promoted gig for 2 months, and I decided to turn it off because I was maybe getting 300 impressions. Well, I turned it off, and I looked at it today. I have 700 impressions, and it's like,
yeah, those platforms like activity. I don't know.
But why would they not like you paying them? You know
Well,
what
I think
mean?
they
Which
do,
is
but
funny.
they like the activity, I think. And so you just kind of got to change things up. I remember us doing that for probably when you first started, us changing your, like the pricing, maybe once every 2 weeks or sometimes once every week and a half or a week or whatever. And it just, you just need a couple, what you need with Fiverr is you just need a few recurring clients on there because they really like that. Mm-hmm. They really like recurring clients. And if you can get that, then you have money coming in consistently, and then there's more impressions that come your way. So,
yeah. So that, would I like Fiverr to do better? Yeah, but it's at least at this point with the people that I've been working with on Fiverr, I'm fine with
Sure.
Upwork. Upwork seems to have in my opinion, not to bash Fiverr too much, but it seems to right now has a better process. If somebody wants to work with you, the job is out there, you send a proposal, and then, or they can invite you, but you have to accept it. It's not like they can you're doing the job. So anyway, that's...
How many people out there, and maybe you know this, John, how many people out there, I guess I'm making a plea to the people that are part of VOMP and maybe people that aren't, how many of you out there are on Upwork and are gaining some traction or have a regular business? Maybe you do better on Upwork. Let us know. I know Kimberly Young asked you. She has an interesting story. She was telling me that the other day when I talked with her. Interesting story about her Fiverr experience. She can't get on Fiverr, and I won't go into it. But they won't even let her back on. And it's really nothing she did, really. It's a very kind of unusual thing, but it's Fiverr-like. It's Fiverr-ish, like sometimes what they do. But you have more success on Upwork. I'm trying to get you, the inside scoop so that you can maybe help me because, Fiverr is nice because it has a gig and you put it out there and you've got to promote it, if you will, and stuff like that. But people kind of come to you, but then they just come to you and order. Whereas here you have to always, go out and search and do a proposal and things like that, which is kind of nice. You can go after what you want to go after.
Each party can decide if they want to do it or not. And that's the thing that Fiverr doesn't do. If somebody wants to set up an order, they don't even have to talk to you. They can just set it up and it's like, anyway.
Yeah. So we decided, because I've been so busy on Fiverr, John runs my Fiverr.
Sure does.
And has since day one. And we decided to up my prices. And we don't fiddle with it a whole lot, but we did it early, but we don't do it so much now. But we upped it. And we were $800 lower this week than last week. But this week we hardly had any recurring clients. And so these were almost all new clients, and they were all decent. With the exception of one. We had one person order, and there was a lot of difficulties with that. So anyway, that ended up being a cancellation. I had one new client, and that was a referral from another client. But I'll talk about that next week. It's because they're not going to pay me till next week, so I'm not going to put it in my information this week. So my platforms were $2,473.60. That was all Fiverr. And then direct email marketing clients, $5,653. My total was over $8,000 this week again. $8,126.60. After an $11,000 week last week, it felt like I wasn't so busy this week. $8,126.60 for my week. And quite honestly, you talk about, and I would have been the same way, but I sometimes don't keep track. I can't keep track of my warm replies. Andy does that for me. I don't even keep track a lot of times of my auditions because I'm busy with work. And that's how Hudson will get, if he keeps plugging away. You'll get so busy that you'll say, did I do auditions? Oh, yeah, I did some auditions. And let's see, did I get warm replies? Well, yeah, maybe, you just...
When you get busy, you forget about the stats.
Yeah, you don't care about the stats. Yeah.
Not a stat guy.
Nope. Just keep plugging away, keep putting a lot in the funnel, get some out, take care of your clients, and it'll build.
Yep.
Well, thanks, guys. If you're new to our videos, feel free to hit the subscribe button, hit a like. Like Dad said, if you guys are using Upwork, what's your feelings about it, stuff like that. Also, if you want to learn a little bit about our other business, Vomp, Demond will put the VOmarketingPro.com thing right here.
URL.
And you can check it out. So that's it for this week for our Todd's Tips and our numbers. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week. Hey, did you like that video? Here's some more over here. Maybe you want to subscribe over here.